Hello everyone, my name is Salsabila Aurelia with last student ID number 181, and now I'm taking part on this philosophy of science course presenting the phenomenology. So what is the definition of phenomenology? Phenomenology is, in general, it comes from the Greek words as phenomenon. So phenomenon means as a symptoms or anything that appears. And by Husserl, the definition of phenomenon is he describes that phenomenology is a subjective experience and also a study of consciousness from the main perspective of a person. And the short background history of phenomenology. In 1764, initially the terms of phenomenology was introduced by G.H. Lambert to revert the theory of truth. And after that, phenomenology was used in philosophy in 1765, which is also sometimes found in the works of Immanuel Kant, who was later constructed by Hegel. And phenomenology was then intensely initiated as a first philosophical study by Edmund Husserl, so that he is oftenly known as the father of the phenomenology. And this is Husserl. He was born in Prostějov, Moravia, Czech Republic on April 8, 1859. And then he growing up in Germany. He also studied science, mathematics, and philosophy at the University of Leipzig, Berlin, and Vienna. He taught at the universities of Göttingen and Freiburg. And then he died on 26 April 1988 at the age of 79. Husserl was a German philosopher known as the father of phenomenology, and his work left a purely positivist orientation in the science and philosophy of his time, and he also emphasized subjective experience as the source of all our knowledge of objective phenomena. And he also criticized the science because there's a crisis on science at that time. He thought that science has fallen into objectivism. So that is a way of looking at the world as an array of objective facts with links. He also doubted that knowledge comes from everyday pre-scientific knowledge or Lebensweisheit. And then the consciousness of the human or subject is swallowed up by the interpretation. And then human consciousness or subject is swallowed up by the objectivity of interpretation because science in no way cleanses itself of the interest of the world of daily life, and then the theory resulting from the attempt to purge knowledge of those interests is a true theory of understood by the tradition of the Western thought. Next one is the basic conceptions of phenomenology. And here are 5 basic concepts that must be understood in phenomenology. The first one is the phenomenon concept. Phenomenon concept is display of an event objects in perception. So something that is comes in the consciousness. And then the second one is and then the phenomenon in Husserl conception is the visible reality without the seal between man and that reality. So phenomena are realities that manifest themselves to a person. And then the second one is the consciousness concept. So consciousness is the giving of meaning or the formation of our perception of a phenomenon. And we always have experience of ourself, awareness that is synonymous with ourself. And the third round is the constitution concept. Constitution concept is a process to seems to be like a phenomenon into consciousness. So this constitution, it takes place in the process of appearance experienced by our world into a phenomenon for national consciousness. In the other words, the constitution is like a kind of construction process in human consciousness. And the fourth one is the epoch concept. Epoch is like a concept that is developed by Husserl, which is related to effort to reduce or delay judgment to bring up knowledge above any doubt. And then epoch also comes from the Greek words meaning as refrain to judge. In the epoch, in this concept, according to Mustakas, understanding, judgment, and daily knowledge are set aside first, and then the phenomena are raised and revised as they are. Then the last concept is the concept of reduction. This concept is a continuation concept of epoch, and for Husserl, human has a natural attitude that supposes that this world really exists as observed and found. And however, to start phenomenological effort, we must suspend this belief. And this is what phenomenological reduction is all about. And according on Language on 2007, he mentions four characteristics of phenomenological psychology. Number one is focus on the human experience for what it is. And number two is interested in the meaning of an experience and how that meaning is formed. And number three is focus on effort to describe phenomena rather than interpreting or drawing causal conclusion. And then number four is acknowledging the role of researcher in constructing phenomena, and all experiences must be understood in their context. And how do we get the result or data on this phenomenological science is by observation and interviews. So the interview that we used in this method is by using in-depth interview. This type of interview is also aims to get like something that has not been seen or something that doesn't appear on the surface. And then the data obtained from the interview in depth will be analyzed using interpretative phenomenological analysis or IPA. And then the stages on IPA, they divided into like 6 parts. Number one is reading and rereading. Number two is initial noting. Number three is developing emergent themes. Number four, searching for connection across the emergent themes. And number five, moving to the next case. And then number six is looking for the pattern of the cases. And then the example of applying phenomenological approach in daily life is like, for example, like when we do research on rural communities that still adhere to animism. At that time, we do our research and leave our knowledge of our God and examine their beliefs with the concept of epoch. And then we try to understand their beliefs without like mixing our beliefs and gaining experience based on the point of view of the people who adhere to those beliefs. And that's all about the presentation for phenomenological approach. Thank you, and hopefully can be understood clearly. Bye.